Welcome to part 33 of our Clone Wars rewrite. We are currently rewriting the character of Ahsoka Tano, and in this video we'll be focusing on Season 4, Episode 3, Prisoners, where we have Ahsoka come to terms with the fact that one can grow independent of their mentor. Thanks for joining us. So, the last thing we have written for the argument against Ahsoka for this arc is reflecting the instance with the Mastiff alone back in Season 1. Ahsoka once again reflexively goes for her lightsabers and has to be dissuaded from violence, this time by Lee Char, who admittedly displays a much more Jedi-like attitude than the actual Jedi present. So, here we go. We don't have a thing. We don't have a thing. Okay, there's an option to get stupid quotes from politicians, but, I am not going down that road. I'm not brave enough for politics. No. Oh, here we go. I don't mean to brag, but I put together a puzzle in one day, and the box said 2 to 4 years. Okay, that's dumb, but funny. That's the point! That is literally the point. Indeed it is. Okay, crowns are inherited, kingdoms are earned. I do like that quote, I will be honest, and I feel like Lee Char deserves that quote, so... Absolutely.
Mon Cala Prince Lee Char has gone into hiding with Padawan Ahsoka Tano as his only protector.
It's always gotta make Ahsoka important. You know, his... Padawan Ahsoka Tano is his only protector! It's like, it's not wrong, but like, of course, it would make Ahsoka so important.
The failure is mine, not the Republic's.
Get back!
I remember this. Like, she immediately comes back up. It's literally just like, bob your head down and then poke it back up. They must be gone now. I couldn't see them for a split second, and if I can't see them, then they don't exist.
If my father were here, he could unite with No Sarai and the Quarren. The Quarren and Mon Cala have always had a difficult relationship, but it was respectful until Rift Tamsin arrived. The Mon Cala and Quarren people must be reunited.
I like your thinking, but what's the strategy?
Count all the prisoners. Mon Cala, Gungans, clones. If we all fought together, we would outnumber our opponent.
If this is going to work, we'll need to let your people know. They'll have to be ready to fight.
So, Ahsoka... I mean, she's just there for the majority of that scene. Like, he just kind of talks at her. She ducks for a split second. Then she prompts him to... Oh, you need a plan. Like, again, it's one of those moments that in a vacuum, it's not bad. But it, as we kind of pointed out in the No Growth series, like, she has this pattern of expecting other people to have like a perfect plan up front, whereas she doesn't follow that standard herself. And again, like, Lee Char, he's being smart here, kind of doing the math in his head, figuring out, okay, we outnumber them. Though it's kind of interesting because she's like, oh, if this is gonna work, we need to let your people know, because they'll have to be ready to fight. So we don't have to let the Gungans and the clones know what the plan is? Oh yeah, that's a good point. You would think the majority of the people, like the Mon Cala who are imprisoned, would be the soldiers. Unless you're telling me that they imprisoned every single regular day citizen? All the Joe Schmoes as well? Like, but that, if I recall correctly, that's not what we see. Like, they go into the prison and it's the leaders and the soldiers and everything like that. Again, if you don't have to tell the Gungans and the clones because, oh, well, they're soldiers, of course, that's what they're here to do. They're gonna fight. There's like, well, then why do you have to tell the Mon Cala? They're in the exact same boat. So it just feels weird that she's like, oh, well, you know, we gotta tell your people. We don't gotta tell anybody else. Is there anything we kind of want to change there other than she just includes everyone? Like, for the majority of this, like, He's just talking at her, and it's a lot of exposition. I mean, I guess you could say it's necessary exposition because, yeah, up until now, all we've seen is the Corrin are dead set against the Mon Cala. Well, no, Sarai, we have seen a bit of his. He's not quite committed to this, but it's necessary in the sense that if he's like gonna say later, oh well, we can fight, with the Corrin at our sides, he needs to first establish why he would think that would work and why he thinks Rift Tamsin is the problem rather than the Corrin themselves.
Instead of him just kind of unprompted telling the history between the Corrin and Mon Cala, maybe she kind of prompts it. So she's like, I'm guessing you guys didn't always have a such a difficult relationship as you do now.
Yeah, because he says this, right? Oh, he could unite with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, that would make sense for her to be like, oh, so like, it used to be peaceful between you. And then this would be a reasonable response. It's like, well, no, it wasn't always peaceful. We always had a difficult relationship, but it was respectful. And I also like that in the sense that then she's seeking to learn again. She's invested in this rather than just being there. So I can't remember if we saw in the last episode if there was any hesitancy from Nosara. I think there was. Like, I think from the start they've kind of had a little bit of him not being quite as eager, but it definitely comes to the forefront in this episode, if I recall correctly.
There was because he was kind of trolling Shark Guy in the last episode, so I love how I can't remember his name. He's just Shark Guy. That's
Rift
the impression.
Hansen.
That's the impression his character has left.
Yeah, he's Shark Guy. I love how Ahsoka is leading.
I guess it kind of makes sense because, like, yeah, she is his assigned protector, so yeah, it kind of makes sense that she would be in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not like super in the lead, she's not super far ahead, so I can forgive it.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to make it like foolproof kind of thing, you could open the scene with him like pointing and being like that way or over there, right? And so then he's directing her from the rear kind of thing. Boy, it's lucky that they just so happened to be bringing prisoners in.
Yes, very convenient.
I mean, I understand you don't want to have them sitting around waiting for a prisoner transport, but still.
The time is coming when you will be free again. I will not fail you.
We want to believe, but how can this be possible?
Commander Tonu.
Monk, am I glad to see you?
Prince, you can't leave us here.
Have courage. The next time I appear to you, I will appear as your king.
That's, that kind of had nothing to do with what he just said. You know, like, don't leave us here. Don't worry, next time you see me, I'll be king. Okay, that's very comforting. Thanks.
Yes.
Like, what?
I guess he's, like, he wouldn't be king unless they'd won, so...
Oh, okay.
I guess that makes sense, but, like, the dialogue is very on the nose. The time is coming when you will be free again. I will not fail you. We want to believe, but how can this be possible?
And people say the later
melodramatic.
seasons can't be considered a kid show. Yeah, sure.
It's just great.
Great.
What if, like, because they have this here, and I guess it makes sense. In, like, they're trying to show Lee Char coming into his own as a leader, right? And so having this moment of his people needing reassurance, needing hope, and he gives it to them. That is good. I will say, like, the shot with him, like, glowing in this, like, yeah, it's a visual symbolism. It's a thing. It works, I guess.
I have a plan. I know how we can win this fight.
But the battle is over, young prince, and it appears that we have lost.
No, In truth, we now outnumber our enemy.
If we revolted, thousands would die.
Not if the Quarren struck first and aided in our attack.
Prince, how can you say this? The Quarren betrayed us. They assassinated your father.
No, Captain. Riff Tamsin murdered my father. Of that, I am sure.
The Quarren are being used. I've seen it happen before. Count Dooku has deceived them.
Things can change.
Always with the Batman voice.
For the first part of this moment here, where he's explaining the plan to Akbar, I think it'd be good if instead of like just having Lee Char talk, it's more of a back and forth between him and Ahsoka. They're both trying to like rally the Mon Cala.
And I mean, this isn't something that we're fixing in our version, but Lee Char, just knowing that Riff Tamsin's the killer.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It just comes out of nowhere, and he's just like, "Yep, it's a thing, and I know it to be true."
Because he's a shark dude, man, and he's super evil, so it's obvious that he's the killer.
So I think I did suggest, like in the first episode of this arc or something, just kind of as a thought experiment, like having the B plot be Anakin and Akbar trying to solve the mystery of the murder. And I think that would be kind of fun and kind of like a murder mystery, whatever, right?
Yeah, but
and this line wouldn't come out of nowhere.
There
So,
you go.
yes,
and
we're not.
for Ahsoka's line here, oh, Count Dooku has deceived them.
Again, it's the exact same problem as you have with Lee Char here, where they just know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, I would either reword it so that she's like, I've seen this kind of thing happen before. It's likely that they're being deceived by the Separatists rather than Count Dooku.
Yeah. So it's not like she's not as certain about it. So
yeah,
that would work.
And it's also like this could just be Riff Tamsin's thing, right? Like she doesn't know how involved Count Dooku is with what's going on here. And she's kind of learned, okay, there can be good separatists and bad separatists. Now she doesn't believe that Count Dooku is good, but she's like, okay, this separatist may be doing this on his own kind of thing, and he's one of the worst separatists.
Right.
Maybe like Count Dooku, but whether Count Dooku is involved or not, she doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably even change Lee Char's accusation of Riff Tamsin to be a little less certain. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to talk about Akbar here because there's this moment where Lee Char is stepping up and Akbar is almost holding him back in a way, not intentionally, but like he's dragging him down. And so I think that's kind of an important moment for Ahsoka to see, because it's like, wait, this guy's not perfect. No mentor is perfect.
Oh yeah, good point.
And Lee Char is showing that he's growing beyond his mentor. And so then she kind of sees, okay, just because Anakin isn't the best mentor, rather than dwelling on that, sulking about that, wallowing in my discontented feelings about that, I can just do my best to grow beyond him.
There's really no way we'd be able to show all that here.
No, but we're only 9 minutes into the episode, so we might have a little ability to build on that. But like at the beginning of this arc, she was kind of overextending herself, trying to overcompensate, and then she was frustrated because Anakin's not meeting her where she wants to be at. And so then this is her kind of letting go of her desire for Anakin to fill the role that she wants him to fill.
If we want to try to convey what you were kind of talking about, like Ahsoka seeing that no mentor is perfect, maybe give her a reaction shot before she speaks. She kind of looks from Lee Char to Akbar, and then she says her piece, like, hey, it's likely that the Quarren are actually being used here.
Or you could kind of have it here, right? Because yeah, this is kind of where Akbar's bringing him down and Lichar steps up.
Well, that was
And
kind of
then-
where I wanted to have the back and forth between Ahsoka and Lichar.
Oh, okay. I like having Lichar be as strong of a character as he is, and so having him solo this, I like that, but since we're changing the focus here, then it makes more sense for Ahsoka to be more of a part of this.
And I think it'd be nice to like have her back Lichar up.
Okay, I see what you're
So
saying.
he's like, I have a plan. I know how we can win this fight. And Akbar's all like doom and gloom, and Ahsoka's like, no, like in truth, like we outnumber the enemy. We can overwhelm them.
Yep, no, that works. And then yeah, he's trying to drag him down again. Lichar again steps up,
And then yeah, Ahsoka backs him
Ahsoka-
up again.
reacts.
I'd have like in her expression, she's looking at Lichar like, wow, this is a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, and it's also she's kind of seen him grow over the course of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like she saw with Rio Chuchi.
Rick Tamsin murdered my father. We'll find no Sarai. I know he will listen.
How can you be certain of this?
I can't. But it's time for me to lead.
I'll marshal the remaining clones and Gungans. What will your signal be?
When a Quarren attacks our enemy, that will be your sign.
I'm wondering if maybe we should give Monk's line to Ahsoka, like not exactly, but kind of have her prompt Monk like, hey, you should rally the others.
Right, yeah. You marshal the remaining clones and Gungans, and then he asks, what will the signal be? It's interesting. You know, it makes sense that they do it this way, to not break it up a bit. But, like, they have Lichar say, oh, you know, Rift Tanz murdered my father. We've got this whole bit right here. And then it shows the robot hearing him say this.
Yeah, I did think that was pretty odd.
So basically, what we're actually seeing is he says all this, and like he gets spotted up here, and then he keeps saying all of this, and then they finally act on them seeing this. Like, they just leave them alone. But they move it down here so that it feels more immediate. I do have this problem myself. When you're writing two things that happen simultaneously and you're like, okay, like how do I show, when do I insert this, you know, showing the back and forth of this happening at the same time, and how do I show that it is happening at the same time? So, I mean, I'll give it to them that it's not an easy thing to juggle. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought I'd point it out. Is there anything else that we want to change? Because I was wondering maybe like if we want to kind of move that reaction from Ahsoka to down here where Akbar's like, you know, how can you be certain of this? And Lichar's just straight up like, I can't, but it's time for me to lead. You know, that's like a kind of a moment there.
We could like have a reaction in both moments,
Yeah.
but keep the first one kind of more in the background.
Yeah.
And give the second one more focus.
No, stay your blade, my friend.
The problem with that scene is the pattern, right?
Yeah.
Because the pattern is she always does this. But I think if we just had it here, because like we have been like showing throughout this arc that she's very gung-ho, so I wouldn't have a problem.
And I mean, and her job is to protect him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like again,
if anything, I would have her react sooner. Like
Oh,
as
yeah.
soon as the droids show up, she's got her lightsabers out.
because I mean, if we've said it once, we've said it 1,000 times that it's like in a vacuum, these moments aren't inherently problematic. It's the pattern.
Yeah.
And so I think with the way that we have changed Ahsoka, it absolutely makes sense that that moment there is her just doing her job.
I want that little one to see me in my rightful place as ruler of this world.
That was not our arrangement with Count Dooku.
It was mine.
So cartoonishly evil.
Prisoner!
Like literally the evil laugh after that announcement.
Literally nothing about this is mature or deep.
If she would just tip her head back instead of thrashing around, she'd be fine right now. I mean, like, eventually it would fill up. But she's just making the whole situation worse
Exactly.
with what she's doing. Just for the drama. I don't know about you. I'd be freaking out, but I'd also be like, oh shoot, every time I throw my head forward, all the water goes in my face and makes it hard to breathe. So I'm going to tip my head back so I can breathe. And then Anakin's just being dumb. How many times has he been shocked now? And he's just like, "Grr! Ah!"
Misa had an idea.
Okay, we don't need
Not
to.
now, George. We need to save Padme.
Yeah, oh yeah, and then this whole thing.
Oh yeah, I hated that.
We need to save Padme, I'm not gonna listen to you. My idea is to save Padme, you moron. Anakin never thanks him. Why did they bring Ahsoka?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would not have her there.
No, the prince requested to see the leader. You don't bring his bodyguard, even if you have disarmed her.
Yeah, exactly.
You disarm her, and then you leave her with the other prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
Because all she's good for is bodyguarding him, and you don't want him to have a bodyguard going into this situation.
Precisely.
Especially not a Jedi one who doesn't even need to be armed to be a problem.
What do they have happen here? Like, I'm guessing she somehow, like, gets the upper hand.
No, they don't make any move until the execution.
Oh, okay, so she doesn't need to be here.
No, not at all.
So, yeah, just have her
Like-
left behind with the other prisoners.
And show the concern on her face as he's led away, and she's like, oh crap, I can't do anything. Like, he's made this decision for me to stand down and for him to be taken, and now the situation is completely out of my hands.
Yeah, it would just be like a further aggravation with what we had her struggling with in the last episode where she was forced to sit on the sidelines. But now, like, it's worse because her one job is being taken away from her.
I would maybe have this like bit between them where she's like, you didn't tell me this was part of the plan, and he's like, no, you're gonna have to trust me. Well, I guess because he already said he wasn't certain that he would be able to sway No Sarai. So if anything, maybe he kind of apologizes to her and is like, cross your fingers or something like that. And then maybe she says, may the force be with you.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's kind of their like, prayer for safety kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that.
And then if we really wanted to, we could have her go down into a meditative position as he's being let out through the gate or whatever. I just want to see.
Or since she ordered Monk to help rally the people, then
All
since
right,
she's
yeah, she
being left
could-
behind, then she could help with that.
Yeah, no, that's good too. Actually, I like that better. Yeah, because we have this kind of like, she wants to do something. That even though she's struggling with this moment, she's not like freaking out, but she is going to be proactive, making sure that at least on their end, everything is ready to go if Lichar is successul.
Yeah, I like the idea of her being proactive.
I'm just curious if she literally just does nothing in this scene, so we're gonna watch this.
We'll see.
We meet again.
Did she just shake her head at him? Or was that just my brain?
I feel like I kind of saw that too, but it was very subtle.
I have come to demand the freedom of my people.
I do like that she smiles there. It's kind of like giving him silent props, and I like that. Because
Yeah,
Ahsoka never
like
does that.
She is silently supporting him,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so in that regard, having her here is a molecule of narrative usefulness. But at the same time, I feel like it means more if he's standing alone and he doesn't have someone that he can look to for reassurance.
Are nothing more than slaves.
Pushed her aside.
I do love it when that happens. It reminds me of when the Zygerian Prime Minister, was it? Just like shoves her out of the way. You are irrelevant. Get out of my face.
The Quarren are already slaves, though they may not see it. No, Sarai, you knew my father.
I don't know if you noticed this, but like Ahsoka's been smiling up until now.
Yeah.
Like she was even smiling a minute ago when like Riff Tamsin was right in Lee Char's face. But
She
now
was.
Yeah, you didn't notice it? She's in
No.
the background. You can clearly see.
You
Yeah,
have
here.
not come here seeking the
You can
aid
see
of
her.
no Sarai.
It doesn't
Yeah,
look
you-
like she's
like-
smiling to me.
Oh, it looks like she's smiling to me. Like it's not like a big smile, but it's like it's definitely not that.
I don't know. It looked to me like she kind of had this same expression.
Nah.
Yeah. I
I don't
wouldn't
know. I
know
see- I
without
see a
like being
smile
able
in
to
the-
zoom in.
Well, then you'll just have to take my word for
I'm not taking your word for it because I saw
Take my
something
word.
very different from what you saw.
for it. Then you can just be wrong.
Your face can be wrong. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Dooku and Tamsin want only to exploit us and leave our cities broken and our resources depleted. What will then be left for the Quarren?
I'm sorry. This whole speech from Lee Char just feels kind of worthless after like the laughable display of cartoonish evilness that No Sarai saw from Tamsin right before this whole thing. It's like he should already know by this point. So like
He
Lee
does.
Char's speech just feels redundant. He's just
Yeah.
explaining what No Sarai already knows. They should have had this speech before Tamsin's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna
By the way, I'm
take over and
evil."
rule.
The Quarren are more gutless than your people.
Like it's just like completely mask off cartoon villain just I'm so evil. I have all the control. So I'm just going to not even try to keep the loyalty of these people.
Literally, it's so stupid.
I shall give all people of Mon Cala hope to fight another day.
Yeah, I hate Ahsoka's face. The way she's just like, you can see her eyes following Tamsin around the room, and she's just giving him this death glare, and it's like, okay, honey.
I mean, in a vacuum, if I was listening to someone be legitimately this evil, I would probably be glaring at them too. But
Let's see.
but
If
yeah.
someone was like acting this openly evil, I feel I'd be like, is this a
serious?
joke? Are you doing a parody, bro? I'm
am
genuinely
I missing
confused.
the cameras? Where are the cameras?
Yeah, where are the cameras?
I mean, we can agree that she was smiling at the beginning of this scene. But it's like, okay, so at the beginning, she's smiling encouragingly at Lee Char, and then now she's just so focused on hating Riff Tamsin.
Yeah.
So it's like any molecule of usefulness that she had narratively is gone, right?
Yeah,
Because
true.
she's not there to support him anymore. She's just there to hate the bad guy. It's like, well,
Wow.
we don't need her for that.
No.
So again, and she hasn't spoken a word. She's just been like, they've just made sure she's in the background all the time, like that you can clearly see her face. Well, not all the time, but like most of the time.
Yeah, it's completely pointless.
Yeah, she has no reason to be here.
Oh my
sorry.
goodness, dude.
It's just so blatant. I hate it.
Oh.
But like, yeah, she had absolutely no point in that scene. She's just there.
As she so often is.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, that's
A waste
moment
of
that I
pixels.
missed to, include in the Mary Sue series of, moments where she has no reason to be there, but the narrative puts her in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there she is.
Good job.
They finally seem to have her handcuffed. Why wasn't she handcuffed in the last scene?
Good point.
It's like, and that would have given her more reason why she doesn't do diddly squat. But, I mean, like, you could say, well, she doesn't do anything because she's respecting Lee Char's wishes, right? So, like, in that regard, it's out of character for her, completely out of character for her.
Yep.
But she does follow someone else's instructions rather than trying to take matters into her own hand. And the first words out of Anakin's mouth are disparaging her.
I hate it.
Brother and sister, there's such a cute dynamic. Everybody loves Anakin and Ahsoka. They made TCW worth watching.
Nope.
It's awful.
Have him ask if she's okay.
Or maybe, like, what happened? How'd you get caught?
Or both.
Just all yeah, I was gonna say all three of them together, you know, like, are you okay? What happened? How'd you get caught?
It's all part of the plan, Master.
At this point, they still don't know if No Sarai is, because Lee Char said the signal will be a Quarren attacking the enemy. And so if No Sarai never makes a move, they're screwed.
Maybe, like, don't have her say the plan, have her say Lee Char's plan. So she's kind of distancing it from herself to kind of show, like, she's not entirely certain about this.
That's what I'm thinking, because it's like she wasn't in on this part of the plan. This is when he left her behind. What if she's like, this is part of his plan? And he's like, is it a good plan? And she's like, I guess we'll find out.
Anything I can do?
Unfortunately, this time, it's out of our hands.
I'm not sure I like this plan after all.
I mean, I don't dislike her bit there, but his like, yeah, okay, plan, got it. Oh, I don't think I like this plan after all. Like, come on, Anakin. Like, have a few more brain cells to rub together.
Yeah, like, just thinking, because we recently recorded our first reactions to the Clone Wars movie, and you were kind of saying there that, like, Anakin is depicted as such a child, and yeah, I think the same applies here.
He's
just
a
being
brainless
a child.
dog. Like, he's not thinking. He's just reacting. And like, even earlier, oh, we got a plan to save Padme, and he's not even listening to anybody. He's just freaking out. Like, he's not thinking.
Yeah.
He's just acting. He's just the muscle. So would we want to kind of end their conversation after she's like, I guess we'll see? Or would we want to have him, well, I guess at that point, yeah, she's kind of distanced herself from the plan and made it clear, like, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
So then it doesn't really make sense for him to be like, is there anything I can do? I mean, I do like her attitude when she's like, unfortunately, this time it's out of our hand. Like, that's in a vacuum, it's a good moment.
No Sarai and the Quarren are with you.
Fight, Quarren! Fight for Prince Lee Char!
So we've got a whole bunch of prisoners that, like, nobody's watching, or like only the Quarren soldiers are watching, and like,
maybe change it so, like, there's only 1 or 2 droids, but it's mostly like the Quarren watching the prisoners, so it would at least explain that.
And then as soon as the Quarren change sides, then Riff is like, okay, call in more droids. And I would, instead of having No Sarai fight for Prince Lee Char, this guy that we've hated, apparently, up until now. Because, like, I feel like that would just put too much confusion into his ranks. Like, it makes no sense that they would just be like, oh, okay. I would maybe have him shout something like, you know, Riff Tamsin has betrayed us, fight Quarren, fight for our freedom, or, you know, like, you know, rebellious, I don't know, something along those lines, right? Like, instead of making Lee Char the guy they rally behind, make Riff Tamsin the enemy.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense. Like, I would have assumed that No Sarai kind of clued in his people beforehand, but it still makes sense to include that.
I think the guy who comes up to Akbar, he's like, No Sarai and the Quarren are with you.
I thought it was No Sarai.
For a long time, I thought that too, but then I'm like, why is he talking about himself in the third person? So I'm guessing it's somebody else. The voice was slightly different. So yeah, you could do it that way. You use that to hint. Maybe that's what they were already doing, that they were using that to kind of hint that he'd spread the information through his ranks. Now, what does Ahsoka do?
I'm sorry, but like kicking a droid should do nothing.
Especially when you're underwater, so you have like no
Momentum, yeah.
momentum.
Like, can she use the Force in cuffs, or are they special cuffs?
I assume they're just regular cuffs.
So yeah, have her use the Force instead.
And then maybe cut her cuffs off when she can at least grab her lightsaber and free Anakin, and then maybe Anakin frees her.
Yeah, that works.
I love how he uses his head to kill the droid. He's got a
I
weapon
think
in his
he
hand.
pointed that
and
out
then
in the reaction. He just
headbutts
headbutts the droid to death.
Which like would be cool if he'd been disarmed, but seeing as he's got a weapon in his hand, it's kind of like,
why would you use your head, bro? Also, I don't think we've seen any of the Jedi or Padme.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, the main characters are not taking the main focus.
Like, obviously, I wouldn't want it to be focused more on the Jedi than it was on everyone else, but, like, I'm just a little surprised that they haven't gotten any attention so far.
And it's like, it's not even that we're seeing, like, the main side characters here. Like, we're just seeing random soldiers, mostly. Not necessarily bad, just, it's interesting.
I killed your father without pity or mercy.
Then I'll return the favor.
He just has to be as evil as possible. I killed your father without pity or mercy.
Yeah, oh. Okay, buddy.
Lee Char says, I'll return the favor. What a word choice!
Yeah, okay.
Like, I get what they're doing. Like, obviously, he's not being serious. And, like, it's just a witty comeback, you know? It's just a one-liner. But at the same time, it's like, that's a very interesting choice of words. New theory.
Oh, dear.
Lee Char knew that Riff Tamson killed his father because
He hired him. Dun, dun, dun.
like, I want the throne. You know what? That would be kind of like fun to rewrite this arc with Lee Char as the mastermind behind it. Like, just as a fan fiction, like, not like a serious rewrite or something, but just like, just to turn it on its head for the fun of it.
Kind of like a crack fix situation.
Yeah.
I feel like this would turn into like one of those, the ridiculous Jar Jar theory where everyone claims that Jar Jar's Sith. And now we have Lee Char, who is a Sith. We have Sith Lee Char now. That's what we're going with.
Wait a minute.
It
First
doesn't?
of all, he had way better aim not like 2 minutes ago. And when Riff Tamson used those blinker dinks, he just stabbed them in and then the poof. And now it's like, you have to shoot it to make it work?
No. He was trying to shoot it because Riff Tamson was like, well, if I'm gonna die, I'm taking you with me. So Lee Char wanted to blow him up before he could get to him.
I mean, Riff Tamson didn't actually say that, but I guess you could say that was implied. That's fair. It just seems they blew up way faster when Riff Tamson used them than when Lee Char uses it.
Yeah, I definitely agree there.
Would we want to have it that he has to shoot it? Because I feel like it would almost be cooler for him to just stand there and know, like, you're never gonna make it to me in time.
Oh yeah, that would be kind of badass.
Where's Padme?
Good question.
We've got Jar Jar, we've got the other senator, we've got Ahsoka and Anakin, and Nosrai and Lee Char and Akbar and Fisto, and where's Padme?
But yeah, like they literally didn't show any of the main characters during that entire fight. I think
They showed Akbar, they showed Lichar. I think they showed her once, maybe no Sarai. Like, it's kind of hard to tell them apart from the rest of it, especially when it's all just this like murky green, can't really tell things apart very well.
like you said, I don't think it's necessarily bad, but it's just
It's an interesting choice.
yeah.
Ahsoka's front and center. Because, I mean, you see Kit Fisto there, and his, like, chest is all scratched up still. So it's like, did they not give these people some first aid before the coronation? So I would either have it be the aftermath, people getting patched up, that kind of thing, or they're waiting, like, outside the coronation, and either which way you have is this downtime, this moment where either Ahsoka and Anakin or Ahsoka and Lichar, like, you know, like you can have conversations that kind of close this chapter.
So we don't want to add anything into the big battle scene.
I think given the changes that we're going for, I think we would show the main characters, and then maybe because at the beginning we had Ahsoka and Anakin kind of clashing, or like they were struggling at the beginning. You had the fight at the beginning, and if I recall correctly, Anakin's not really helping guide Ahsoka. She's trying to do everything by herself, right? I think we kept Padme in, but like if we had written Padme out, then you could have had more of like Anakin is focusing on, you know, worrying about Ahsoka rather than worrying about Padme. But I mean, it does make sense for Padme to be there in a way because she was the representing senator. Though, again, it would kind of make more sense because Jar Jar is a senator at this point, is he not? Or did that come later?
I cannot remember.
I forget if he kind of takes over her position, like he's the senator for Naboo as a whole, or if he just becomes the senator for the Gungans of Naboo and she's still the senator for the humans of Naboo. Either which way, because I've been thinking if you've had Anakin worrying about Ahsoka during this time, then maybe that kind of would affect now how he's acting in this end fight versus how he was acting in the beginning. Or you could have him kind of stay generally the same.
Yeah,
and
on the one hand,
her behavior has changed.
Maybe don't really have much of anything for them in the fight, but like afterward when there's a chance to talk, like maybe keep it that like they kind of end on the crowning scene. And because Ahsoka has that little nod she gives to Lichar, maybe Anakin makes a remark about like how they kind of seem to be friends now, and she's like, well, it's just that like I never thought I'd have the privilege of seeing someone grow in just a few days the way he has. And you can kind of tell like she wants that for herself. So maybe Anakin like makes an encouraging comment, and like I would keep still a bit of stiffness there, but she kind of gives a smile.
The way I would think it would work, because if you show them in the fight and Anakin has kind of had this like, oh yeah, you know, I can't take my Padawan for granted. I've got to, you know, like have her back. And so then he's kind of trying to like do that, but she's basically she's made up her mind that she's not going to rely on him anymore. So then that is creating a rift. But we've shown a difference between the opening fight where she wants his guidance, she wants him to be the picture perfect master that she wants and needs, and then she goes through this arc and she realizes, no, I can grow even if he's not there filling that role that I want filled. And so then Anakin's now kind of like, oh yeah, no, I gotta help you out. And she's just like, no, I'm good. I guess I'm kind of thinking of Tangled, the series, right? Like where you have this, like, again, you're gonna have Anakin kind of facing this letting go, and Anakin doesn't like to let go. And so then their conflict is going to be created, is now he's going to be trying to hold her back in a sense. And then yeah, you could have kind of a moment. I felt like what you suggested was a little bit on the nose, but like, yeah, you could have a moment between Anakin and Ahsoka, and again, he's trying to connect with her, and she's not giving him the cold shoulder. She's not like, you know, but yeah, there's this kind of like more, she's more independent.
Yeah, there's
So
a
she-
distance there.
And then yeah, she's got that nod between her and Lee Char, and it all wraps up. Everyone's happy.
So yeah, she's basically like come a little bit farther from what we set up right at the end of season 3.
Yeah, because basically at the end of season 3, she was like, I don't know where you fit into the picture of where I want to be anymore. But then over the course of this arc, it's kind of like, you know, I will still respect him. Like, I'm not turning my back on him, but I'm not going to wait for him to be what I need him to be.
Okay.
I also kind of felt like, because we have her in our rewrites being the one who's there when Chuchi first kind of steps into her own.
So yeah, this definitely isn't like a
No.
lesson that's completely
Yeah,
new to her.
basically the getting to watch someone grow in such a short time. Like, that's obviously, it would still be meaningful, it would still be impactful, but it wouldn't be like, wow, this is the first time this is ever, you know, I've ever experienced getting to see something like this.
I did admittedly forget about Chuchi.
I mentioned Rio earlier.
I know.
Shame on you.
I know, shame. Especially since I love Rio so much.
I know. Double shame on you.
Double shame. I will wallow in the shame for the
Good.
rest of my days.
As long as it doesn't impact your work.
I will wallow even in all future recordings.
Oh no.
It will be constant wallowing.
Oh no.
The next one is the Zygerian arc, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing the Zygerian arc next.
Oh.
Joy!
Goodness gracious. So that was season 4, episode 3, Prisoners, where we had Ahsoka come to terms with the fact that one can grow independent of their mentor. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, share with your friends, and consider subscribing so you don't miss future installments. As always, comment below letting us know what you think of our rewrites and what you would do differently. We'd also appreciate any support you are willing and able to offer via Super Thanks or on Patreon, where we have plenty of exclusive content waiting for you. Next up, we'll be tackling Season 4, Episode 11, Kidnapped, so be sure to join us for that.
I think bananas. Don't forget to switch back.
I didn't remember to switch back. Yeah, if I suddenly start saying something and you're like, I feel like she's talking about something I can't see, then say something.
Well, it was more so the fact that you just went quiet.
Yep, because I was watching the thing that you were watching with me, my brain said.
Nope. Jellyfish.
Since I'm right, it's weird that she's smiling and then not smiling here.
You knew my
She was
father.
not smiling.
Whatever difference
She
is-
was smiling!
She was not smiling.
Okay, go look it up on your own computer.
I don't wanna.
Well, then just take my word for
I'm
it.
not taking your word for it, because I saw something completely different from what you saw.
But you can't see it as well as I can.
When I am editing this video, I will zoom in on her face, and I will check, and I'll probably be right.
Nah.
So what would we say are the highlights of this episode?
There, that's what I would say.
Okay, that's gonna be our intro and outro. Dad, what are the highlights? Tell us what the highlights were of the recording that we're wrapping up just now. What were the highlights? This is a test. If you fail this test, then you fail at life. You just walked away. Unbelievable. These people are useless.
Come to terms with the fact. Thanks for joining us now.
We should
No, we
definitely include
No,
that.
no, I feel like we shouldn't. I feel like some people would be a little concerned.
What?
Just slightly.
Have you ever stumbled across those bot messages that are like, if you don't subscribe to this channel, then you're gonna die?
No, thankfully I have not.
Oh,
Because
I saw
otherwise
I
I'd
saw
be
one
dead.
like a day or so ago.